what, man? Oh, man. How we doing? You guys good? Did we do it, man? Oh, man. Oh, man. Look what we did today. Hey, let's just wrap it up there. No, I'm just kidding. Let me make sure it works. It's working, right? It's only been working for like a couple seconds. Shoot. It's Friday, man. That's what happens. Welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. How are we doing today? Pleasure to be here. I just covered everything. I gave you the secret to trading, investing, and everything. It was there. You missed it. They missed it. Well, anyways, let's get started. Let's go back here. Guess the Dow. We have a winner. Man, I was already all the way through that. Live TV or live streaming there. Guess the Dow. Our winner, we've got Joshua Lucky, 28597.07. He's our winner. We've already let him know. Email's been out. Not a customer, so the gift card is coming his way there. And in second place, this is so weird saying it again. Oh, in second place, Jerry Liu. Remember, he won last week. One of our customers came in second place. So I was giving a lot of credit to Jerry. Sorry, didn't make it there. That's what it is. But play the game. Guess the Dow if you want. If you're the closest without going over, I promise you the game works better than our stream does. And we'll send you a $100 gift card. Seriously, no strings attached. We don't play games there. Just if you want to take a shot, take a shot. You have until tomorrow about lunchtime to guess for next week. So if you want to take a shot and you want to find out by Friday if you won the $100 or not, you just got to go to the website, jazzwealth.com/research. Have a good time there. Well, let's take a look at the stock market here. So you got the S&P on the screen there. Yesterday, the bottoming tail held up, looking pretty good there. I was mentioning that. We did sell off towards the close, so it kind of adds something to it. Sold off a little bit into the close and afterwards as well. Up about 4% month to date, and I was pointing out this is kind of like the midpoint of the month. So I wanted to point out this chart here that we shared with you last month. This is September's data here, so don't look at that. We're looking over here. October, average gain, 0.82% over the last 50 years is what the average actually is there. So we're on track. We're doing well. Remember, last month was spot on as far as the stats go. This week, we only added about 0.5%. That's just this pullback in the last couple days there. Not too bad, though. But in the S&P, your leaders are going to be things like Pfizer. So Pfizer had a good day today. Actually, a lot of biotech had a good day. Healthcare itself had a good day. United Healthcare also up on the day. Healthcare was the biggest contributor to the S&P 500 today. Apple, there it is. Apple was one of the drags on the day, and Netflix was also one of the drags on the S&P 500 as well. Semiconductors were the laggard. Remember, they've been really strong. They just started pulling back here later in the week, so that's part of the reason for that. If you're a Nasdaq player, there you go. By the way, you got a new stock coming in the Nasdaq. We happen to own it, so we're excited. We covered it last night in our class, Keurig Dr. Pepper. So next week, Keurig Dr. Pepper is going to join the mix there. Volume sky high today as everybody's making their adjustments, up about 1% on the day. But as far as looking at the Nasdaq, that was your winning index for the week, up about 2%. It's also beating the S&P so far this month, up 5% there. Apple and Netflix and the semis were also your drags. You had Zoom Media hit new 52-week highs. Bernstein, I believe, was the main reason there. $611 their price target. That's off the charts there. They're also the highest price target, so they got a little more attention for that. A lot of biotech movement today. If we look inside, like Alexion Pharmaceuticals, Regeneron, they were in the news today. A lot of them. They were just depending on the stock you were looking at today. Biotech was kind of the hot spot for that volatility, news-driven volatility sort of thing. If you're looking at that, Russell 2000 looking pretty good in general, but today down about 0.5%. I was pointing out if you look at the Russell 2000. I'll use the IWM. This is kind of the go-to ETF for the Russell 2000. Down a little bit on the day there. It's the best performer month to date, up 9% compared to the other indices there. Over the last month, the IWM, now these guys have about 4.8 billion under management, meaning dollars that are invested in it. Over the last month, nearly 10% of its AUM has been added into the IWM. So looking good there. It's getting a lot of attention over there in the small cap space. So that's that. We've also got earnings season. going on here? Let's take a quick look at that because we did some research on that. I think we should just wrap it up, just not have earnings season. Here are the results so far from earnings season. All the stocks that reported so far as of yesterday. And basically what I'm just pointing out for you is the ticker symbol, the date that they reported earnings, whether they beat on earnings and revenue or not. Real quick, you could just look down here and see 82% of them beat. That's awesome. That's above average. 82% of them beat on revenue. That's also above average. No lowered guidance in the mix there. However, the average gap was down almost 1%. The average full day gain was actually a loss of 2.6%. There were only 2 stocks that actually finished higher so far after earnings, and they did good, right? So you can understand maybe if they missed, like Delta Airlines, Wells Fargo, they are down as well. But overall, a pretty poor start to earnings season, and we are barely just getting begun there. So very, very careful with stocks that are reporting earnings this season. It's going to be a volatile one. That's what that's telling you right there. So we're going to continue to cover them on our research site, by the way. We got a ton of great posts coming up for that, focused on earnings season. We did a lot this week for the research site. We got election predictions in there. We've got a post coming up here, most volatile and least volatile stocks. That should be posted anytime now, actually. We got a whole detailed breakdown of the markets here, worst performing stocks, best performing stocks, all kinds of good stuff, best fourth quarter performance and everything. So we just kind of went nuts with the recent posts in there. Hope you'll check that out. Our research site, jazzwealth.com/research. If you want to be a member, it's $13 a month. You control it. If you want to cancel, you can cancel. You don't have to tell us or anything. No strings attached there. Remember, we don't play games. The smallest company out there can't play games with your dough. We have to be straight up and honest with you, and we've done that. Hopefully you think we've done that. Anyways, FinTips videos. Won't go over them. I've covered them all week this week. They're down here. Go to our YouTube channel. You can sort those out. Some really good ones, and I'm not saying that. There's some really good ones this week. We'll try to keep that up next week. And our Wine and Wealth class, if you're one of our customers, last night's class was on portfolio updates. We went through every portfolio. I did forget one of them, sorry. But we went through every one of them there and just kind of showed what was going good, what wasn't going so well, what do we like, and things like that. We do that for our customers. I like to go through it's your investments and we're managing them, but I like to go through what's up here. What are we thinking? What are we doing? So that you know kind of how we're adding value on a daily basis. But enough of that ramble. Let's go over the sector breakdown. I just have a few of them for you here today. Industrials. So you got industrials as the best performer this week here. It is supposed to be and has been. If I could go like this, pop on over here and go over here. Here's some of the information that we gave you earlier in the week. We ranked the sectors by performance over the last 15 years for now until the end of the year. We gave you all the data down here. This is one that I shared with everybody. And if you look, industrials rank the best in terms of performance, median performance. They're not the most positive, but they are supposed to be the best performer. And as of now, they are. So that data once again playing out in there. I'll tell you, in the industrials, it's largely because of things like FedEx. We happen to own it, excited about that. We own Quanta, PWR. These have done well, but there's some weakness, and it's still with the airlines. Although Alaska Airlines had a good day today, you've got weakness in general. United Airlines still hanging in there. American Airlines trying to recover, but this is the weakest part of the industrials. Moving on over to tech there, had a volatile week there, up as much as 4%, but finished up the week only up 1%. Still the best sector year to date. It's up 34% if you're paying attention to that. Semis were the reason this week. Pullback in the semiconductors. KLAK, CLAC we call it. AMAT is the other one, also pulling back. These are not bad stocks. These are just stocks that pulled back. If you want to look at the semiconductors like an ETF or something, SMH is one of them that people like to use. That pulled back slightly as well, so nothing crazy, just a little bit of a pullback there. Moving on over to consumer staples there. We just talked about this last night in our portfolio review. Our portfolio is just slightly beating the sector at the moment. Today it was largely flat. Anything consumer staples is doing well, largely because of Estee Lauder. We happen to own this one. It's kind of funny that it's a consumer staple. We talked about that, but that one's doing well. Costco, just beast right there. Best performer over the last month. Looking real good there. The sector continues to do well despite over $500 million flowing out of the XLP over just the last month. So kind of interesting there. You got regional banks continue to outperform the large banks. So we've been pointing that out day in and day out. You want to look inside there. Once again, it is beating the financials, the XLF. If you were to compare them there, the short-term performance is much better at the moment. Let's go to new highs, new lows. There we go. You got 50 new highs today. The thing, it tells you, see, right there, 50 new highs. And I've got a whole bunch to share with you. I'll just go through a few of them. Lennar, looking pretty sweet there. That's the home builder. We know that sector or that industry is doing really well. Those stocks are doing really well. Kind of a flat day for them, but a good week overall. T. Rowe Price, we happen to own that one. We talked about it last night. Really, really good performer. A lot of that has to do with Schwab waking up yesterday. So a little bit of a, what do you call it, sympathy or correlation play there. Cummins, I pointed out this breakout to you. That's continuing nice and strong. You got new highs again, slow and steady, right? We talked about this a few times right around that breakout there. You don't want to see it rip like a T. Rowe Price or a Paycom or a Solar Edge or things like that. You want to see it just sort of go along just like this. It's a great example. Amcor looking to move to new highs and did today. Very slow and steady. You like the slow and steady. I know it's not the most fun thing in the world, but those are your big gainers. And Fortune Brands, just wanted to bring that one back up again, hitting new highs, continuing to set up for another new, hopefully move higher there. So we'll see how that goes. No new lows. Very simple. And that is, I believe it, I think Tuesday or Monday had the highest new lows at 72. This would be the second best of the week there. All right, let's go on over to the watch list for the day. What we're going to do on a Friday here is revisit some of the 52-week highs that continue to perform and could be setting up again for new opportunities. I'm going to stick with Fortune Brands here because the lesson is on yesterday's reversal bar. Anytime you get a solid reversal, meaning the distance between the highs and lows is quite wide, and the distance between the open down here and the close up here is very close to its high and low. I did a candlestick class for customers. If you want to go on the website there, the dojo, I think it's also available for research members as well. You could see that this is what we would call a solid number one bar, meaning everything I just said. It's a nice range bar. Everything's looking good. You find those in an uptrend, especially after something that just broke out. You got yourself something that is very much well liked by the Wall Street traders out there. Analog devices hit new highs and it's kind of working on going back to those new highs. Look at that. You got the line right there. There's a hint at a breakout. You almost hope it doesn't happen for another few days or so because it is a little bit extended. So you kind of want to see this chop sideways. Great example. Go back over here. See the same thing. All the way here, runs to new highs. You think, yeah, it's going to break out. It's going to be good. You actually want it to do this for a while. Go sideways. So hopefully that happens there. I thought that one was interesting to point out to you. Haynes Brands, HBI is the ticker symbol there. Great reversal day, right? It's a recent breakout. Momentum still on the side. Volume starting to pick back up again. Maybe something that's interesting, so I put it back on the list. Dr. Horton, we added to the list. Don't like the way it finished today, by the way. That's kind of a solid reversal, but if that holds up, you've got a reason to say, all right, it's a little mini breakout inside of a bigger one, and that's been on the new high list as well. We covered Fortune Brands already. Let's go to CSX. You know the rails. The rails are one of the stronger areas of the industrials and the strongest in the transportation industry at the moment. Norfolk Southern, you can look at any of them, but CSX almost back to highs there. It's got cause to move higher. It's got momentum. It's got money flowing into it from wherever. It doesn't matter where it's going. But that's what you have there. Very solid, strong, and slow and steady stock. So those are really important for the investors out there, not necessarily the traders. And also Danaher. I put that on the list because that's been a 52-week high nearly every day. And it continues to be nice and tight, kind of looking like a little FedEx there, right? Just slow and steady. Kind of keeps going, never seems to pull back. Everybody's like, I'll buy it if it pulls back, and it just doesn't pull back. Very cool there. Also, Humana in the healthcare space did well today. That's going to be one with a nice reversal from yesterday. Good solid volume in there. Just thought I'd point that out. And I'll give you one more also back in the rails. Union Pacific might be the strongest out of the group there. CSX, I like the technical pattern. Union Pacific is certainly a lot stronger. Very simple, very clean watch list for today to give you really some homework for the weekend. Hope you enjoy it. All right, feel free to ask your questions if you have any. We'll move on to stocks in the news and then try to answer your questions for you. Stocks in the news, you got Boeing there, had a decent day, up about 2% on the day. They get the ability to fly again up in Europe. So obviously that's exciting. We really want to see it happen here in the States. But the EU regulators have actually given official clearance for the 737 MAX to get up in the sky there. Not saying they're in the sky, but that's what they've given clearance for. Twitter basically a little bit flat on the day. It was interesting that Twitter was down for about an hour before the debate, the town halls last night. So a lot of conspiracy theories there. But anyways, they did come out and publicly say that, and they also sort of changed their policy on posts and things like that. I don't think it's just going to go away because of them doing that, what happened yesterday, but we'll see. Also, the CEO, kind of funny, Jack Dorsey, he said he was just shocked by the way Twitter handled this. Absolutely shocked. He's supposed to know this stuff. I know he's a busy guy, but he's supposed to know that. Oh, sorry. You got Ally, also nice and strong there, moving a little bit higher on the day. Beat on earnings by 55 cents. Revenues came in better than expected. This is the kind of company that's really going for it. I kind of keep track of what they're doing, and they're trying to conquer your dollar. Any way they can get your dollar, personal loans, investing, any kind of other loan, whether it's long-term, short-term, anything that has to do with your dollar, they want to be a part of it. And so a lot of people think on Wall Street that they're going to be one of the big players there. That stock's obviously doing well and continues to do well. All right, over to transports. J.B. Hunt did quite poorly there. Almost an identical earnings season to last time when they reported their available space in their trucks. So same thing going on there. They missed by 10 cents. Revenue's a little bit better than expected. Sort of got beaten down today, down by about 10%. And then Pfizer came out today and said that they may have enough data to apply for the emergency vaccine issue in the EU late in November. So obviously positive news. You want to see things go well there, and the stock's happy. That's the first real good bit of data that we've had as far as a vaccine, and so that stock naturally benefiting from a 4% move, which is odd. It doesn't normally do that. All right, what else do we have? 3 Fed members speaking on Monday. Remember, they're out. The Fed members are out there doing their thing. There was a lot of them out talking today, and basically the same guys are out there talking next week. Monday, you got Halliburton for earnings, PetSmart. You've got IBM, Logitech, which should be an interesting one there, Steel Dynamics, Ameritrade, and Zion Bank. That's a regional bank. We'll see what happens there. And don't forget, Keurig Dr. Pepper being added to the Nasdaq 100. Okay, let's hope all that worked. Again, seems to be working. Let's see if I can answer some of your questions. Oil down a little bit today, not a big deal. Kind of took the day off. Yesterday's reversal was a good sign. I think you've got people starting to say this is an opportunity and kind of buy in there. So I don't know that I don't know that it's going to fall a whole lot more. Yep. Are millennials the Wall Street devil? Article saying puppies dying because of evil millennials trading with one finger. I don't think they're the devil. I think it's Wall Street trying to figure out how are these people thinking, right, so that they can trade alongside them or try to beat them to the trades. There's a lot of cool little geeky stuff there that we could probably go over, but that's assuming your Robinhood account doesn't get hacked. Yep. Fastly, comments on Fastly. We covered this yesterday and also in the class last night. You do not, and here's a great example. Comments from our class last night. Someone said, hey, should I buy it? I saw a big discount there. You never buy the stock after one solid down day. Don't do it. This is what you have to experience. You very likely have not found the bottom when a stock gets beaten down like that all in one day. Very, very careful there. Yep. Oh, I like it. So question, what's going on with LMP Automotive? It's extended. Look, so many of these stocks, they had great runs. There's so many of these stocks right now in the super small cap space that just blasted off. When they blast off, they pull back. Look at every time. Blast off, pull back. Blast off, pull back. Mini blast off, pull back. Another mini blast off, they pull back. Even if it's short term, look at what happens. It doesn't like to be too far away from its moving average. That's all that's happening there. Nothing bad. Profit taken, profit taken. That's what you got there. I love it. What's in the cup that you're drinking? Apparently, it's like absinthe or something because it didn't. I talked and then we didn't go live and yeah, it's how you know it's Friday. Let's just wrap this thing up, man. There should be something up there. That's what I should be drinking straight from the bottle there. Patrick, I would agree. I think it's near impossible for Jack Dorsey to run Square and Twitter and keep an eye on everything that's going on from South Africa. I don't know how he's getting away with that. To me, if I was on the board or something, I'd really be giving him a hard time. Yeah, we would not be friends. Can you please look into Zoom? Touch 52-week high today. Yeah, we talked about it earlier there. Price target increase, a lot of excitement around that one. It's extended. Careful. Careful. Philip says, earnings season coming up there, then elections. Would you recommend staying until in cash until better opportunity arises? There's no data point that says you will benefit from doing that. That's the tough one there, right? I'm going to share in our email tomorrow, I think, in our Notes from Jazz email, I'm going to share like market performance. We've been expanding on that little by little to kind of show, all right, if Democrats win, Republicans, different scenarios. There's not one data point that says you are worse off if you continue to invest in the market leading up to earnings or election season. And if you think about it, earnings is always going on during election season. So we'll have the bulk of it out of the way though, but that's always something that's happening. Love it. Harry's daily Tesla comment of the day. We should have Harry on the show, man, just to talk about Tesla a little bit. He probably knows more than me on this thing. I love it. So that's a great example of specializing, by the way. So if you're actively trading, you will eventually find that you only focus on a handful, if not one stock. There's no need to go chasing after everything all the time. You can get really good at one or two different stocks. So that's a great example of that. Yep. I love it. Well, I'm sorry we messed up a little bit today, but we'll wrap it up there. Next week, got a lot of great videos. If you want to see, you go down here, check out those videos for this week, because next week there will be a whole lot more different ones there. I better stop before we mess up something else. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for supporting us here and watching, and we'll see you next week.